Again has to do with is is either this stream this stream platform has some, I don't know. It's still lagging, but it's fine, sure. We'll just manage. Um
All right, let's see what
okay.
we can do.
All right. So
You will do the editing. Yeah.
yeah, sure, I'll do it. So thank you very much for joining Harry Soft. I will use your username for this stream. Thank you very much for joining us. We're very excited having you on this program. This is one of the top leading um, bug bounty hunter from Nigeria. We're going to be hearing from him, how him telling his story, and please, if you get value from this video, hit the thumb up and subscribe. So let's go into it. So, Mr. Harrisoft, I would like you to introduce yourself. Tell us about
Go
you.
ahead. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
All right. So tell us about you. Well, how just introduce
Okay.
yourself.
My name is Harrisoft. Online name is Harrisoft. My full name is Harrison Ogunye. Uh, I used to be a database administrator. I work with a bank. Currently, I'm in IT audit. I'm an IT auditor. So I normally joke to say that in the daytime, I'm a auditor. In the night, I'm a hacker. So I do hacking for fun.
Wow, that's
So
cool.
that is who I am. I live in
Oh,
Abuja, Nigeria.
well, nice. Oh, nice. How did you start bug bounty hunting? Where did you hear it from? How did you discover it? What led you to it?
Okay. In 2019, 2019, I got a WhatsApp message from a friend. That was 30th of August 2019. I remember the date precisely, 30th August 2019. I got a WhatsApp message from a friend. It's a link to this Akawan page where they spoke about 6 hackers that have made $1 million each. That was what the page was about. If you check Akawan page, you see that page. It's an article that was written on the 29th of August 2019. On the 30th, that message was sent to me by a friend. So I went through it. I said, people are making money online. Oh. And this hacking thing, what is it about? So I read that message 1st of September 2019. It was sent to me the previous day, 30th. I read it on the 1st. Then on the 2nd or 3rd, I registered in Akawal. If you check my Twitter, it was also registered that same September because I wanted to follow those 6 people on Twitter. So I had to register a Twitter account. I registered in Akawan. So that 2019 September, I started studying about it. How is bomb botting done? What is it about?
Mm,
So that is that.
yeah.
That's how I started.
Well, that's interesting.
September 2019.
Because I usually follow your Twitter posts. You document your journey, and that's very fascinating. Because I feel, for you to be a security auditor, you must be very good in documentation.
Yeah,
Because documentation is key to making sure that everybody is carried along. There's transparency. I like the fact that you document your approach. I guess you're on 15,000 reputation. Um, if my guess is right, and you are one of the top guys in the Nigerian space of bug bounty hunting community. So let's learn how the techniques you use and the approach you use in carrying out this bug bounty hunting.
okay, check that. I
I know
want
you
to know
are.
my number.
I know
Okay,
you are above
I'm
15,000.
15,840.
Yeah. Yes.
15,840. I'm ranked 65. I'm ranked
Yeah.
65 in the on-time leaderboard. Number 65 and 15,840. Okay, that's what I have just checked it up. I have not really checked it for some time. Okay, my approach is a very simple approach. So I don't if I have a program to work on, I have a script I wrote. It's a bash script. I call it recon.sh. It's a simple bash script that I wrote. I use it to do my recon process. The script do the find this subdomain finder, subdomain finding. It helped me to also separate different subdomain to different files. For example, those that are live, those with 403, those with 41. The script also classify them by products. Is it an IIS server? Is it an Apache server? And many other things the script does for me. So I have a script that I use for my recon process. So if I'm going to work on a target, I put the name there, allow the script to run. It can be running for days, it can run for weeks. That's one that will run for months. So my setup is such that that script is running and taking care of my recon. Now, when the script starts working, it brings out some basic files for me, like files that are 200, those pages that are 200. So I normally start my basic hacking from there. For example, if I have a registration page, for example, a login page, for example, I start from there. I'll test login, I'll test password, I'll test profile change, I'll test forget password, I'll test 2FA, I'll test OTP, I'll test token, cookies, implementation, I'll test session issues for session issues, I'll test the main authentication at that junction. I will also test for rate limiting, no rate limiting, capture, bypass. Then when I've tested all these ones, by now I've created an account or two. I will now start cross-site request forgery, open redirect. Those basic, I will not start with them. So my approach is to let the script run and find as many things it can find for me, while on my own, I now start manual testing. I start from authentication, login, logout, registration. I have a what I would call a methodology that runs through all these things. I have them clearly written out. Okay, at this time, I'm testing registration. The different possible bugs I found in testing registration before. I have all written down. I use that to do my start. That's how I do my hacking.
So the script you mentioned that you wrote and does all the backend thing. Are you leveraging on other tools, or the tools you are using? It's basically the one you maybe you develop or something, or are you using other people's tools?
Of course, I use other people too now. I'm not magician yet now. I use other tools a lot of.
What are the tools? What are the tools?
I use the normal tools everybody use. I use tools for sub finding like every other person. I don't have any magic. Everybody uses some tools to find subdomain now, right?
Yeah, that's
what
true.
I do too. I use tools to find subdomain. Then if I'm going to test for maybe the state, I use HTTPX like every other person uses. I use Nuclear like any other person uses, and all the other normal tools people use. I don't have any special tools. The only thing I do is, for example, some people use Nuclear and they get dupes a lot, duplicate. Now, there's a way I did my own methodology such that Nuclear is just for recon. It's just for recon. It tells me that this system is using WordPress. This system WordPress is version this. This system WordPress is has this or this vulnerability. This is, do you get it? So from there, I take over my manual testing.
Yeah,
and I'll work from there. So that's what I do. The same thing with every other tools I use. It's the same subfinder that everybody use. I use. It's the same A-Max everybody use. I use the same tool, the same everything. I don't have any special. The only thing I do is with my bash script, I now bring a lot of things together and make the work easy for me to edit. Yes, it brings out the result in a test file, simple test file, properly labeled in the way I will understand. So I use that to work from there. From there, my work is very easy. It's very easy from there. I know what to do next. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's
if there is any major tool or resources I'll say I use. It's the same bullshit that everybody is using. I use for my manual testing. It's both now. But, that's what everybody uses.
Yeah, but you know, there's a professional version and there's a community version. So maybe what you are using is the professional version, and you are finding.
Although I use both, I use both professional and community. Actually, as an auditor, yes, as an auditor, boost suits will be one of the tools in your normal your toolkit. So
that's true.
Yes, it will be there as other tools. So I have those tools officially from my office. But that said, I can still use community. The difference is just the speed. In most cases, community can do most of those things. Especially if you are doing manual recon, community can do everything for you.
That's true. That's true. But when you start finding the bugs, there are some other plugins you can use in both. Yeah, that's true.
On tools.
There are plugins you use in Bob Suite to make your work easier. You know, there's so many plugin extension in Bob Suite you can use, and those extensions are not free. You know, you can't use them on community version. You need to get the professional version for you to use them. All right, that's fine. So let's talk about your challenges and also your success. Every bug bounty hunter rather has speed bumps. You know, there's this bottleneck when you come to, you slow down. It slows you down, even though you don't want to slow down. It just, just the way it is designed, it just slow you down. Just like you mentioned, there are some target or some host that has several subdomain. For example, Twitter. For example, if you're hacking Twitter has so many subdomains. And when you discover those subdomains and you start hacking on all the subdomain upon subdomain, you start seeing different things. Those target takes time. There's the time factor, and there's also the factor of you finding a vulnerability and trying to exploit it, and you can't find a way to exploit it. And there are other challenges as regards communicating with the person managing that bug bounty program. Probably they need you to provide more resource, or they can't triage your finding. There are so many things that might want to hold you back and say, man, these guys are too slow in responding. Or the developers themselves. Maybe you're working on the private program and the developers are trying to reach out to you and say, hey, we need more information on this, your report. So tell us about the tell us about the most interesting challenges you usually encounter. Maybe just give us an example when you're explaining those challenges. Maybe we'll learn some new things on tricks in your challenges.
The first problem I had was I didn't get enough knowledge before I started hacking.
Okay.
So, like when I started that September 2019, I wanted to just find bugs instead of go and study first. So that was the first challenge I had. So what I was finding was no real bug, but I claimed they were bug. So that's the first challenge I have. It took me some time to just say this thing, sit down and learn. Forget about money first. Forget about the dollar. They come at the right price. Because the target was the dollar, $6 million. That was the target there.
Oh my, that's very funny.
So it took me some time. I started I did like 6 months, 6 full months. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, February. It was that February I said, no, this thing is not going to work like this. Let me study. Let the target be knowledge first. So I stepped back. I started insisting that I learn daily. I learned something new daily. I was reading write-ups. I was reading activity and write-ups. Those are the two places I focus on. I see the way people write reports. I see the way people find their bug. I started developing myself in that line. So the challenge per se, I would say something like the lack of knowledge I had at the beginning. Even when I started getting knowledge, there was information overload. You read only recon. You read it in 30 places.
Can you give us an example of?
Okay, let me give you a practical example.
Yeah.
My first bug. It's a very interesting one. The first bug I was paid for. I submitted a delete option be enabled. Do you understand? I was checking a program. I saw that it's behind authentication. That delete is behind authentication. It's not a bug. I said, no, but it's enabled. They should disable it. They said it's not a bug, that I should provide POC. I should delete anything if I can.
Okay.
So I started making effort to see, but there was nothing I could do with it. And back then, I was so sure that was a bug. I argued with them, did everything. But interestingly, as I was doing that, trying to see what I can delete, I came across an endpoint that had this /private something. So I said, okay, I'll make all effort to delete, but I cannot delete. But look at this endpoint too. It's prompting out /private something, but not for the delete I mentioned. God, they are not going to make any change to that delete. The delete is behind authentication. So they paid me $100 for finding that /private endpoint. They now paid me for finding the /private endpoint, not for the delete I mentioned. So that was the first bug I was paid for. And from there, I now had an understanding that, okay, information disclosure can be triggered from anywhere. If you check, that's my major finding, information disclosure. I concentrate on it. That became what I was looking for. I started reading reports that led to information disclosure. I started finding out how to find it. And I had my own methodology to find information disclosure. That I can hardly any program I've run on that I don't find information disclosure. Hardly. It may be a small bug, a little pain, but I will get that information disclosure there. I have my own special ones I look for. So that I'll call that as my challenge. It was lack of knowledge. By the time I spent more time, I now started seeing it clearly. Spend more time, I saw it clearly. Yeah, and there was also the challenge of information overload. I read too much. I practiced out of point. So I encourage you people to focus. Yes, like when people ask me, what do you need to do? I say just focus on Pulse-Trigger. If you can do Pulse-Trigger without cheating, you can solve all those bugs on yourself by yourself without cheating, without looking at the result before you solve it. You are good. You start finding bug naturally. You don't need anybody to do anything. Just understand those simple lessons in Pulse-Trigger, apply them in true life. You get bugs. So that's my challenge.
Are there other bug bounty platform you also participate in outside HackerOne?
When I started, I was, in fact, this example I gave you now was on Bugcrowd. It happened, not even HackerOne. It was on Bugcrowd. So when I started, I was on Bugcrowd. I did some work there. Then I was also in Integrity. I did 1 or 2 work there. But their payment method, because then I was after the money, I won't lie to you. Their payment method did not support what I wanted. Yeah. Integrity, for example, I think I had one, is it £50 or something then? I couldn't get a way to get the money. Bugcrowd asked me to go and do something. Why? HackerOne was paying directly to my GT account in Nigeria. They paid $1 directly to my GT account. So I just stick to HackerOne. And that was why, if you notice, I don't work for other programs. Although one or two people have told me that they have corrected those things. So somebody told me that Bokrad pays direct to your account now. But I've not been able to build the courage to go back to them. I just focus on where I feel comfortable. Then on the other hand, I spend most of my time in Akawan. That's the truth.
Yeah. Most people. So aside the money, aside the payments method, is there any other thing you found interesting about HackerOne platform better than Integrity, Bokrad, and the rest?
HackerOne was also more user friendly.
Yeah,
they had this VDP. Because when I started, I was working more on VDPs. I worked more on I did a lot of work on VDP because I was practicing then. So they had this VDP that was more freer. You submit anything, they accept it. While on Bokrad, the thing was streamed. It's like all program is managed on Bokrad. All program in Bokrad is managed. So you don't have the program himself saying anything. So because of that, it was more difficult for me to work in Bokrad than in HackerOne. HackerOne, I can pick a program that is not managed by HackerOne and that is VDP. And you enjoy yourself there. You discuss with the people, you have communication with the owner of the program. They can say, no, we don't take this, we don't accept this, or we accept this. And people will negotiate it, discuss it. You will see where you need to improve. But I didn't have that option in Bokrad and Integrity. So that is why yes, that's another factor. I was just learning. If you are just new, I think HackerOne will be better for you because you will see non-managed program that you can have a relationship with the program and co. So you can now work with them. Yes.
Yeah, that's another interesting part because I feel I don't know if you find it also interesting whereby HackerOne has activity. Do other programs have activity? I don't think so. They don't have a publicly disclosed bug, right?
No, so they don't have serious ones. They don't have serious ones.
So that's one feature that made HackerOne to stand out because if you want to learn, you definitely learn from activity.
HackerOne better.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to your success. Because of the 15,000 reputation, you've gotten from HackerOne. I know you're on the 65th position rank. So people will be saying, man, you will be on the 1 million mark. So I guess you've made 1 million. You've made $1 million so far from all of your reports you've done so far. Like
no. It doesn't follow like that now. I wish. The truth is, let me start from the beginning again. 50% of my reputation point, I got them from VDP because I was more interested on VDP then. I was learning, and I got, I think it was MTN VDP I got interested in. If you check, most of my reputation came from there. It's just this year I decided not to take them serious again. I just decided to focus on, if I'm putting time into it, let it be that money is coming in. Just this year I took that decision not to spend too much time on VDP again. If not, I spend so much time on VDP just to get knowledge. If I learn any new thing, I focus on VDP until I've mastered it. If I have not come to board programs, that's the way I was doing it. So that said, I can't point to any major success. But there's something I want to mention for the sake of it. There is a tribe called Retina. I don't know that you know him, Retina. I think his name is Andrew. Now. When they did this, their new change. I think I saw his name one place, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's a HackerOne trigger tribe worker. Yeah. So there was a report I submitted. It was an IDOC. report. Yes, I submitted it as information disclosure because I was just pursuing information disclosure. I rank it as low. I ranked it as low. I just say information disclosure manual low. But I put the URL there and everything I can see with it. So this Retina guy, this Andrew guy, was the one that checked it. He checked it and changed the topic to IDOC, not information disclosure. He changed it to IDOC, and he changed it from low to high. From low to high, 7.5 high. By the end of the day, they paid me $1,500 for that report.
Wow,
imagine something you are expecting like $100 for. He just came in, edited it, changed everything, rank it high, and tried it. By the end of the day, the program paid $1,500 for it. So anytime I remember that payment, I'm happy that guy did the right thing. Sometimes try this managed program. They can be very hard on you. There's one that let me try to remember his name, King of Pasha or Prince of Pasha. That guy was giving me non-applicable when I was just starting. If you just see my program, I'll just slam non-applicable and move on. If you just see my program, I'll just slam non-applicable and move on. But this Retina guy was taking time to explain to me why that thing is not correct. He will say, this is not this because of this. This is not this because of this. He will explain it to me. I'll say, okay. He will say, use also tools to check. He will explain to me. I'll say, okay. Most of my report that he worked on, he was always advising me. Even if he mark it as non-applicable, I will be happy that I've gained the knowledge from that
knowledge.
Report. Yes. So there was a way he handled my report. So when I started submitting good reports, like that one I just mentioned, that he also helped me step it up, and everything was okay. If I meet him one day in a live event, I will buy him. I will buy him a car.
Oh my, let me smart it. Oh my.
Then that said, I'm not that I make too much money, but I'm comfortable.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
at least you're within the range of 15,000 to 20,000 US dollars.
I'm 3 times more than that.
Oh,
I've gone far than that now.
Yeah,
I'm almost in 100.
Oh, that's
soon be a 2. Is it 2 figure they call it? I'll be 3 figure aka.
It's 6 figures now. Yeah, you're in 6 figures now.
Before we talk of 6 figures, you have to be in the 100s first. Before you talk of it, I'll soon be in the 100s. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. I'm pretty comfortable because when you make the conversion rate in Nigeria is something else. If you make $3,000, that is 3 point something million here.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you make $6,000, $6,000 every month, you'll see that in Nigeria you are good.
Yeah, that's comfortable. That's really encouraging. When you think about this, the payout, you want to do more. Like recently, I saw there's a post that was made by HackerOne. This guy, what's his name? Nahamsek. You know Nahamsek? Nahamsek from HackerOne. He used to work for HackerOne, but he's no more working for HackerOne. He just recently hit the 1 million mark on HackerOne. So it's a very encouraging hit. Like when you know you are not a millionaire in US dollars. You're no more in in the normal regular 6 figures. Tell us about your skill set. Like, have you ever hacked on mobile application? Do you hack other platform, like maybe do you do source code review, or do you focus on web application security or API, or what's your basic interest when you look for a program?
What I will first of all because I assume that people that are just coming to hacking will see this. So I want to mention that the first skill set I have that I think most people don't have is dedication. For you to be good in this thing, you have to put in some time. You have to put in some time. There's no two way to it. You put 6 to 7 hours every day, learning something every day, learning something, no matter how small. Just get the basics daily, 6 to 7 hours. Before 6 months, you start finding bugs. You'll find. So the first skill set I want to mention is dedication to it. You have to be dedicated to it. Yeah, that's the first one. Then the next one I want to say, I do web. Generally, I do web. Until I saw a report from, I think, Akka Powered Reports. I saw one report that last 2 years that says that only 7% of us are doing API. Because of that, I went into API and I made some good money in API. And I'm still doing API. I went into API. So I do web and API. I don't do mobile. I don't do other things. But with the little I've learned, I know what to look for. If I have access to code, if I have access to source code, I know what to look for. But I cannot say I review source codes per se. I can't say that. So I do web, I do API. My emphasis number one is on information disclosure. Then I go to authentication box. Those are the two things I spend time on: information disclosure and authentication. Yeah.
So what about RC remote? Okay, go ahead. Remote code execution. Like, do you?
No. In fact, all my 4 years, 3 to 4 years now, I've not gotten one ROC, except one I got through nuclear. Yes, it's only through nuclear I've gotten one. Nuclear.
Okay.
I got one. Yeah, just a lucky one. I submitted it expecting to get dupe, but it was correct.
Yeah.
It was not dupe, surprisingly. But it's not me that found it. It was nuclear that
discovered it for you.
I had to now start googling about the CVA. Yes. So for now, I'm not really good in, like, one other thing I do. I started from down, going up. I can, no matter whether the program has been around since 2012 or 2016, if I sit down to work on it, I will find lows naturally. I'll find low, bug, and medium. So I easily find low and medium. That's why you see some of those my report. You see $50, $100, $50, $100, but I don't mind them. The important thing is to get as many as possible. Then for highs, for now, I'm studying some things that leads to high. For example, I did a study on cache, web cache vulnerability, and I'm gradually getting to it. Yes, and it's giving me some eyes so far. API 2 are giving me eyes. Most API bugs turn up to be high. Most of them turn up to be high, not medium. Most of the ones I found. So I do. So my API knowledge and my web cache vulnerability is the two things that are gradually giving me eyes. So hopefully I will learn more. Of course, if you get SQL, it's high. SQL will also give me high. But SQL is not what you pick every day.
Yes.
You're very lucky. Yes, you come across them once in a while.
Okay, so let's move on. I will come to that if we have more time. Let me quickly ask you. So when we talk about ethics and legal aspects, so have you ever, maybe not on HackerOne platform, the bug bounty program there, maybe in your job, or probably maybe you are doing something outside of your job or HackerOne, you're just hunting in the wild. Have you ever had any instance where you were accused of unethically doing penetration testing or hacking? Or have you ever had any aspect of a legal threat or challenge, like, okay, why did you hack this, or why did you do this?
Okay, I have not. I work purely on HackerOne, bug crowd, and integrity. Then and currently, like this year, I think all my reports have been on HackerOne. I don't do anything outside that. I just follow the books. Yeah, I'm an auditor. and CISA certified. So we are naturally very careful so that we don't break
Yeah,
the rules. Yeah.
the rules. Yeah, that's
Yes,
very
I have a
important.
CISA certificate, and that certificate is an international license that can be called off if you have such
Yeah,
case.
yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
so as an auditor with a bank and a CISA certified, I work with ASACA. So you want to be very
Yeah,
careful that you don't have any issue with any legal
yeah, you
issue.
don't.
Don't
Yeah,
want anybody to write you. So
you
because
don't
of
want
that,
to
I just stick
breach.
to yes, I stick to
It's not
do
like they
exactly.
have.
That's what I wanted to say. You know the
Yeah,
line. The line is a very tiny line. It's permission.
yes,
That's all. Do you have the
yeah,
permission? No. It
do
doesn't
you have
matter how much
to?
good you are trying to do. Once you don't have the
Yeah,
permission, it becomes illegal. So that is the tiny
exactly,
line we have to guide. So personally, I don't
exactly.
even risk it. I don't even risk it. As an auditor, I don't do that.
Yeah, your job is online. Your certification,
Yes, my job, my certification,
your
and
reputation.
yeah, reputation, and off record, I'm a pastor. I'm a full
Oh,
branch pastor.
wow, that's
So
interesting.
a little, this our pastor go to steal money online. You know the way it will go. They won't understand the other part.
No, they won't understand. Honestly, they won't.
And you cannot explain to everybody.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
even my wife that lives with me in the same house used to be confused that what am I doing online that make this type of money? Not to talk of not to talk of average person.
Okay.
I won't stop explaining. I won't stop explaining. The only thing I can tell her is I'm not stealing. So not to talk of somebody that is hard to get you. You're in trouble already.
Yeah,
So I
that's
just
true.
try to concentrate on Akawan and
Yeah, that's true.
the platforms that
Hmm.
covers you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's move to something else. So I from what you've narrated, like you collaborate a lot, I guess. You communicate a lot. I see most of them in on your Twitter handle. I mean, you have more than 2,000 followers on Twitter. So for that to happen, you need to like
Are you sure?
you are yeah, you have more than 2,000 plus followers on Twitter, and
Nice.
so many of your posts comes with follow up comments and likes and
Okay.
all retweets. So it's very interesting to understand that you communicate a lot about your journey, both on uh, triaging a particular bug and people getting to understand how you got there, all those things. So I believe collaboration is your thing. Like, okay, so aside Twitter, is there any, do you do collaboration outside of Twitter? Like, do you share those informations, those report and follow up stories? Do you do any other thing on aside of Twitter, or do you just do your thing on Twitter and on the uh, Triage team on HackerOne?
I think that is all. It's just like I want Twitter. I don't do on any. I don't have blog. For now, I think I'm not good enough to blog. What would I be telling people? And maybe
Yeah,
when the
that's
time comes, I will start. When I have good reports that is technical. My reports are not
yeah,
technical reports, they are just straightforward. Yeah. So maybe when I develop myself to that, maybe next year, by the grace of God. But next year I
yeah,
plan to give more time to this thing. And by the grace of God, if I do that, maybe I'll be able to share more. But
ah,
collaboration, I have collaborated with what is his name? Oh, I think his name is Splitter Sec. There is a guy, Splitter Sec. I think he's from Spain. He's from Spain. There was a time we
okay,
collaborated to work on a private program. He reached out to me that he noticed me on
no,
this private program. Can I work with him? I said, okay. Then I was still learning how to use Notion. So he was very good in Notion. That we should use
yeah,
Notion. I was very happy because I wanted to be good in Notion. So we used
yeah,
Notion then. So I worked with him a lot. And he set a very simple target that we should just
yeah,
be top 10. We wanted to be top 10 in the program. That was what
yeah,
we asked. we set as the goal before we went into it. It was not really the money, but to be top 10 in that private program. So we worked together. We find some good bug. I was doing the recon, he was doing the other part. My script was bringing out a lot of things. So I was sending to him, we were working together. By the end of the day, both of us were top 10. I think I tweeted it after we finished that collaboration. I tweeted it that I just did a collaboration with him, and our goal was top 10, and we achieved it. Although we still make some dollar there, that's the truth. But the goal was achieved top 10. Yeah, therefore, Nigerians, 1 or 2 people have tried to collaborate with, but it didn't work out. They are busy. I think I tried the time that for leak. It was very busy that period. It was very busy. I tried call, we'll be busy, call. So I just left it. So I've not been able to collaborate much. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I've tried once or twice with some people, but it didn't work out.
Yeah. I know some people don't have that. It's very interesting to know how you balance both your regular daytime job and your nighttime hacking, bug bounty hacking thing. It's not everybody that has that leisure to do both. Like some people are just focused on their regular day job, and by night time they only do bug bounty, like for a few hours, and that's all. And from what you've narrated, I might want to, if it was me, I would like, okay, I want to resign from my day job and focus more on HackerOne, since this HackerOne is paying a lot of US dollar that has strong value compared to Naira. So I will just resign from my day job and focus mainly on HackerOne. So it's something some people would want to do and say, it's this thing is very, very rewarding. This idol you mentioned, is there any other bug that has given you a huge payout, like maybe more than 1,005? Do you have any bug?
Yes, my highest payment, I think it's 2K. It's 2K. Okay. That would be my highest. It was a authentication bypass.
Okay.
Yeah, it was from what do they call these people now? I think Sony has currently just acquired them. They are with Sony now. I've forgotten their name, but I got an authentication with them that they paid 2,000. That'll be my highest.
Is it that one that they sent you swag, Sony swag?
No. The Sony swag is something that Sony sent. It's even a VDP. At the beginning of the year, I do a challenge on Sony. Beginning of every year, I do a challenge on Sony where I try to submit 10 bugs every January. I submit 10 bugs to Sony. So Sony will send me 10 of their t-shirts. They send me 1 t-shirt per bug. That's what they do.
Oh my goodness.
So I just take it as I have a lot. In fact, I don't know whether this is proper, but let me show you something. I have a lot of Sony t-shirts. If you check, you'll see it on my Twitter page, sir. For 2023, 2022, like that.
Yeah.
Hello?
I see.
You see I can hear you. 2023, 2022. You check my Twitter page, you see them there. So I just take it as a personal challenge. Although with the new focus I'm doing now that I'm avoiding VDP. Maybe I may not do that next year, but I do that at the beginning of every year. It's part of the things I do. In the month of January, I don't do some free hacking. Sony happened to be one of them as my own, I don't know what to put this, personal ritual. I do some free hacking every January when I start my work. So I work for Sony VDP. But for every report they tried, they will send you a t-shirt. That's why I got those t-shirts. So there's a company I work for. They pay me 2,000. That's my highest. That's my highest. Yeah. But I have one thing is there's a company I can't mention names now, but there are some companies I work for that pay like as high as 1,000, but you will get it plenty. You get it.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, I was checking about one company. They have paid me $19,000 just the company.
Oh, that's huge.
And some money on top. Yeah. Just one
That's huge.
company. Yeah.
Well, that's
There's another company which is my best company. I work for them more. They have paid me 10,000 something dollar.
hmm,
10,000 something dollar here. And is 500, 300 like that
hmm.
amount to that 10,000. Yeah. So what
Okay.
I do is I have some companies like 4 or 5 of them like that I've worked for
Hmm,
over the years. So
hmm,
I check new programs at the beginning of the
hmm.
month. I first work for these companies, submit 2, 3 reports to these 4, 5 companies. Once I have submit 2, 3 reports to each of them, I'm sure that
Yeah.
that month before it ends, I have my 3, 4K.
Hmm. Oh boy,
Go ahead. Then
that's
I'll now
huge, man.
start doing other things, doing other study and the rest. There are some companies like that. And I've been with
Wow.
them since 2020, 2020, 2021, 2023, like that. I continue with them.
So let's quickly talk about the future of bug bounty and your career. Like, what's your opinion as regards the future of bug bounty? Because if you follow the news and report, you will see that there are so many AI tools and applications that are taking over the way bugs are being discovered and triage and all those things. What's your opinion as regards that? And also tell us about how that connects to maybe your career. Do you see yourself matching up to those like would there ever be a manual phase out of how bugs is being discovered and triage? Because most people do manual pen testing rather than
Yeah.
automated pen testing. So let's hear your opinion on that.
Okay, let me start by saying the impact of bug bounty on my career. Let me start from there.
Yeah.
Before 2029, when I started this thing, I was a
Mm.
DBA. I was a database administrator.
Yeah.
All I do was manage a database.
Mm.
That was my strong point and my duty. But
Mm.
when I started this bug bounty, I started seeing things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
I have to meet my boss that, man, I can't do DBA again. Oh. I want to be an IT auditor. I want to be
Yeah.
an IT auditor. Then he said, okay, whatever, he's okay with it. But for me to be an IT auditor, I need to be certified. So
Yes.
he gave me the challenge of go and be CISA certified, which I took the challenge to do. So
Mm.
that I will have the background for that, my
Yeah.
certification for that. So I went into it
Mhm.
and I got my CISA certification. So that is how I
Yeah.
moved from database administrator into IT auditor, where I can
Yes.
look at the whole picture properly, just as I look at it as an
Mm-hmm.
hacker, where I can give
Mm-hmm.
proper advice on security. So
Mm-hmm.
bug bounty have really affected my career, changed
Yeah.
everything. Before now, I would
Exactly.
just sit down somewhere and be writing store procedure, SQL scripts, and the rest. And
Yeah.
be taking care of the time. But now it's more than that. I was forced to
Yeah.
do a whole lot of study. I went for
Yes.
CISA, I went for
Mm.
CEH, I went for CCNA. I just got
Mm.
the general background just to put
Mm.
myself in the knowledge sphere correctly. So
Mm.
it has really
Mm-hmm.
affected my career. It has moved me from just a database administrator to a real well-reformed IT person.
Yeah.
Then for whether AI will replace bug bounty, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, the bug type I find, especially when it has to do with registration, I don't see how AI can find that. There are a lot of bug type that have to do with registration, authentication that AI cannot find. Because you have
Okay.
to enter the username and password. You have to see how the
Yes.
system reacts. How AI handle that. So there are a lot of things I can't say now, but I don't see how AI can replace bug bounty. I don't see it. Even if not in the near future.
Yeah.
It can only make those people that were working purely on automation can make their work difficult. Because there are
Mm.
some things you can automate. Like API bugs, sometimes they are very difficult to automate. You don't automate API bug. You have to test it
Mm.
and see how the endpoint is reacting before you know your next
Yeah.
move. good.
Yeah,
So you
that's true.
can't. But I can say that AI we assist bomb
To,
butting,
yeah, to
because
make the
if you
job
have a
easy.
good AI that is helping you
Mm,
to, for example, if I want a Python script that check
yeah.
for IP, that changes IP,
Yes.
that changes my IP, that check for IP or change IP or something. I'm just giving an
Mm,
example. If I want
mm,
to do a IP rotation as
yes.
against a rating limiting that is using IP, it's just
Mm-hmm.
to prompt AI. AI will give me that Python script
Yeah.
or it goes, so it will help me if I can prompt correctly to have that script. It will make my work
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, but
Yeah.
for that it will replace it is difficult, very difficult. There are a lot of things
Yeah.
AI cannot do. You write
Mm,
code, you can even tell him the version that you want him to use to write it. You can tell
exactly.
ChatGPT to write a code for you in Python 2. You can
Mm,
tell it to write a code for you using Python 3. It will bring it out. Because
yeah,
there was
that's
a
true.
time I was having problem with the different code, Python 3, and I have some old Python 2, this thing, codes I
Mm-hmm.
was using. So those changing of print and all those things,
Mm,
ChatGPT will clean all those things for me. You can give your code to ChatGPT, you clean it up for you. That's the truth.
exactly.
I use it. I use
Exactly.
it for my basic bash work. But I have to now combine it to my main bash script. I have to now do the
Yeah.
reasoning out. Those are the part I say it can't replace us. It can only
Oh, okay.
assist you in what you are doing.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I know for a fact, there's so many cybersecurity company out there, coming up with different solutions to solve these, this manual process. There are different plugins, there are different agents you can install on your
Yeah,
CI/CD pipeline. If you've worked with developers, as their code is being pushed to a repository, you've written a script that will automate the testing process, the penetration testing process. You've done all those automation. The automation tools can even write a report for you, and you know so there are basic tools out there. That's basically what I'm trying to say, where you can do all of these things without manually interacting with the application, just like your API penetration testing. I do mobile penetration testing. I work with APKs a lot, so I know what it means to automate some of these. And you have other projects you need to attend to. You need to do this. You need to do that. So you want to look for a way to efficiently do all those things and save time. So that's why I feel, or I believe that AI can do most of these things. It's just that for us to perfect it, like to clean it up, AI can bring a lot of false positive vulnerability, and you just say, there's so many bugs. But when you try to see how you can manually do some kind of exploit, you understand that, yeah, AI has limitation. Actually, AI has limitation, but they can do a lot of things for us. They can help us to achieve so many things without us, doing any manual interaction. So that being said, I am very interested in the Nigerian ecosystem of cybersecurity. What's your opinion as regards the community in Nigeria? Like, are we growing? Are we there yet? And also companies, are companies actually compliant with some of these regulations? Some of these regulations, are they compliant, or they don't care about the security of data privacy, security of application or user data? What's your opinion as regards the Nigeria ecosystem on cybersecurity? And also, what's your opinion on the community that is growing in Nigerian space? Do you think we can match up with the rest of uh, African countries and also the rest of the world?
I mean, I have two opinions on this. The first one is when I joined Akawan in 2019, the report they brought out, Nigeria was not on the map at all. Yes, but in 2021, we were there in the map.
Yes.
It means they recognize that money is coming to Africa, to Nigeria. It means they recognize our work. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I
I
understand.
checked the report 2019 that they brought out. I checked 2020, but 2021, the map of Nigeria was there among countries that have ACAS in Africa. So it means that what we are doing, they are noticing it. That's what it means.
Yeah, that's true.
At least Akawan space recognize that, okay, some guys here are making dollar. Because where the money is going to, they are following. That said, we have some young, sharp guys that are coming. I mean, you see what Ofolik and Co are doing now.
Yeah,
they are great people. Yeah, they are doing very great. It's just that they may not have the resources and they may not have the time. Most of them are students.
Yeah,
most of them are students. Yeah, we have some young people coming. My daughter, for example, I encourage her in this line. She's a 400 level student with Babcock University, but she had her CEH, and she does this thing we are doing now. She had her CEH, and she does do that. So I believe when they grow, when they become in charge, they will do better than what we are doing. And some of them are smarter. They are very smart. It's all this strike today, strike tomorrow that's affecting them, Afolic and Co. That they have to finish their school first, serve, then they will now concentrate. Yeah. It's not like us that we are not going anywhere. We just close for the office, get home, put 3 to 4 hours, go to bed. Tomorrow morning again, put another 2 or 3 hours. So I believe when their time comes, they will do better. And there are a lot of them, a lot. There are these guys from Covenant University. I used to see their work on Twitter. I've forgotten his name now. That guy is doing a great work in Lagos. He is doing a lot of Twitter space things. I used to follow his work. He do a lot of classes in Lagos. I know that Lagos is far from Abuja. If not, I don't mind supporting him with any time he call me. But it's not that our places are far. It's far apart. So that's why I'm not really supporting. But I believe by next year I have more time. I'll be able to do some things with them. That's my plan. So that said, so because of that, I believe they are coming up. People are coming up.
Yeah, that's true.
Then if you look at that from the side of the ACAS now, if you look at it from the side of the companies are still not there. That is why I strongly believe that AI cannot replace ACAS. Companies are still not there. They have a lot to do. They are not ready to invest in it. They're not. There is somebody that called me. He works at hospital. He called me that he learned that I'm doing this thing. He saw my this. I should just help them check something. Then I went there. I checked. I told him that the budget of the whole hospital is not enough to defend against somebody like me, because they are not using a good router. No Cisco switch, no Cisco router. Is this normal tabletop router that they put everywhere? And they are transmitting personal information through those things, default password and everything. So when I was done with him, I told him, if you really mean to secure patients' data, you need to wake up, you need to budget for IT. But of course, it's an hospital, it's not a bank. Neither is it an IT firm. So they don't give IT any budget, any attention. And we have a lot of companies like that in Nigeria. A lot of them. So the budget for IT is not enough to defend against us at the hackers. The budget alone has made IT a failure for them. Because I mean, how do you use they cannot defend against us. You don't have a Cisco router, you don't have any good router that can really route things. So how do you stand against people like us? Because once we start firing, the system will crumble now. It crash.
They don't have firewalls.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They don't have firewalls. The system will crash. It will just go down. If we really start working, I want to test them. The system will go down. So I believe a lot of companies like that, they have not come to this realization. Even some banks, some so-called big banks that you think are safe. I will not want to mention them now. But there is a bank when they brought out their mobile app. I just tried some basic things. I was shocked when I found out in that mobile app of that bank. It's a so-called big bank. I say, So
I know.
Still need to wake up.
Yeah. So you feel for them to wake up, they need to budget more on IT
For
or
IT,
you know,
for IT.
yeah,
Yeah, training of staff. They need to train the IT staff. They need to get them to be up to date. They need to understand what
okay,
is going on. They need to
yeah,
budget for IT security. They need to
yeah,
buy the necessary
that's true.
fireworks and co. That
That's
will
true.
take care of basic security.
Mm, that's true. That's true. That's true. There's a lot that need to be done. Honestly, if
That's a
you
lot.
if you take if you take a look at it critically, you understand. You know, the thing is, Nigerian tech ecosystem is growing. You know, there's a lot of product solutions that startup are coming up with. You know, so many beautiful, brilliant solutions,
Yeah.
and there's so many of them coming up in Abuja, in Port Harcourt. There's a community in Port Harcourt. The tech community in Lagos is very large, and there are big companies also that they are growing bigger. They are acquiring other companies, and as they are merging infrastructure together, vulnerabilities will be, you know,
Coming up,
definitely will
popping
be
up
coming up.
daily,
Yeah,
daily,
there was a
and
there was a,
upgrade.
there was a there was a report I saw on Twitter. One random guy. I tried reaching out to him. The guy is just probably he's afraid. He made a report on some vulnerabilities, on Nigerian banks, some Nigerian banks. So
Okay.
those vulnerabilities had to do with there are some infrastructure, there are some resources they are using. Like you said, some of these third-party vendor
Yeah.
tools and resources they are using. They are using default credentials, username and password.
Thank you.
They are
Thank
not
you.
updating. They are not updating their firmware. There are so many
At
things that
all.
is
So there are
going
so
on in
many
the
things like
Nigerian
that.
banks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it boils down to the knowledge or the capacity of the IT people.
yes,
Boils down to the
that's true.
capacity of the IT people. Once the IT guy is vulnerable, the system will be vulnerable.
Mhm.
And that is why I say they need to invest on training of those people. They need to invest on it. They need to be current with current state of IT security.
Yes.
And a lot of companies don't make budget for that. They're not ready for that.
Yes.
IT training in Nigeria is not cheap. It's not cheap. Even
Yeah.
worldwide, is the last when my daughter was writing CH, I think it was $700. That was the
Yeah.
cost of the. So it's not cheap. It's not what you expect some of these IT guys to take from their salary and pay. It becomes difficult for them to do that. You understand me?
Yes.
So that
Exactly.
is why I feel it's not going to be cheap for them to take from their salary and go for personal training. The system has
Yes.
to provide for that. If you go to InterSwitch, for example, their training is over $1 million. InterSwitch in
Mm.
Nigeria.
Yeah, I
You
know
go for good
InterSwitch.
training. Good. Their training is over $1 million. You don't expect a staff to take 1 million plus from the salary and go and pay for training. If he does
Yeah.
that, it means he's on his way out of the country. He's going to
Yeah, that's
Japan the
true.
next month. That's
So
what
it's
it
going
is.
to
If any
Japan.
staff does that, he has another vision. So that's how it is.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot that needs to be
So
done,
they need to
and
invest on their personnel. Yeah.
uh, but do you feel Nigeria is the only country that is behind in Africa, or is Nigeria leading the rest of the African tech ecosystem?
Ah, I don't know, and I can't speak for other Africa countries because I've not really gone round. But I have had cause to work with one or two people when I was during my CISA training and exams. I've had cause to
Mm.
work with one or two people that were working, connecting from other South African countries. And what I
Yeah.
saw is that their system are also poor. Their system there is poor.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that speaks for all African countries. But I think from what I'm hearing, Egypt and South Africa, I think they are doing better.
Yeah,
From
that's
what
true.
I'm hearing about their
Right.
ITS, because there's somebody I
Yeah.
work with is in Egypt. From
Yeah.
what is for the way we presented things, I think Egypt and South Africa are doing better than Nigeria. So I will put them ahead of us. But I think Nigeria is also doing well because we have the number. We have the
Yeah.
numbers. We have the companies are trying to buy the infrastructure, but it's
Yeah.
more than that. It's more than that to
Um,
get things secure.
okay. All right. So before we wrap up this session, I am interested
Thank God.
in I'm interested in two things. So one is, how did you come up with your username Harrysoft? And the other thing is, so you do bug bounty by night, your normal job by day. So how do you take vacation? How do you do vacation, or you just your triangle is just work, church, and bug bounty?
House. Okay. Um, what's the first question? Okay, my name,
Yeah,
Harrysoft.
yeah. How do you
I,
come up
I
with that one?
I I have that name since I was in university, as far
Okay,
back as 1995,
that's cool.
when I opened my Yahoo email.
Okay.
Microsoft was the in team then. Microsoft Windows 95. I don't know if you can remember that thing
Yes,
like that,
yes,
those boxes.
yes.
So
Yeah,
so
but
that was when I got the soft for. I said, okay, Harrison Soft. That one
mm,
day I will have a company like Microsoft. So I
okay.
used my name Harrysoft. Yeah, I was more interested in software then. During my university
Okay.
days, I concentrated on software. I
Okay.
was good in programming. Yeah, I write program in Fortran, Pascal, and
Mm,
C then. So that
okay.
was that. That's where I got the name from. And so I just kept it and I continued to use it. Even when I started Akawan, say writing name, I said it's Harry Soft now. What will I write again? Even when I went to Twitter, the same thing. It's Harry
Yeah.
Soft I used there. Yeah, so that is
Yeah.
that. I just put a hole. Sometimes if I don't get Harry Soft in the place, I'll put zero instead of the old. I just put a zero. But Harry Soft, that is
Okay.
where the name came from. That
Okay.
said, for my vacation, I take vacation every December. That's the truth.
Oh.
I use my December to rest, as in rest. I book hotel. I
Oh
leave my
man.
home with my wife. We'll go and stay in an hotel for
Yeah.
December. I'm planning to do that any moment from now. In fact, this week I'm going
Oh,
on leave in the office, and I won't be around
oh
till
man.
January next year. So I
Jesus,
take
that's
two, three
interesting.
weeks, 3 weeks out. Although I will still go with my laptop, but it won't be priority. It's difficult to just be like that. You get bored. Uh-huh.
that
But I'll go with
that's
my
cool.
laptop. That's the truth. I'll go with my
That
laptop, and
that's
I use a server at home. I use a server in my house. I don't put
uh,
it off. So I will connect
okay.
remotely on it once in a while just to check maybe anything has popped up. Uh-huh. But
Mm.
I will be on vacation with my wife, and I will relax. I will be there the
Oh,
whole of 3 weeks to the first week of next year. So when I
oh,
come back,
nice.
I'll be fresh. Then I'll take off again. Then when I'm tired,
Mm,
I do
mm.
study. I do a lot of study when I'm tired. If I
Okay.
I got burnt out or whatever, I switch to
Yeah.
studying. I
Yeah.
switch to
Study.
studying. I just give myself to study. When I'm
Yeah.
studying, I
That's
just
true.
take any topic. I remain there. That one, no,
Mm,
no, I'm not working against anything.
yeah.
So I'll just give myself to study. Yeah, that's what I do. When I'm tired, I do study. So
Oh,
that's my
okay.
plan. So for
Oh, okay. That's
refreshments and like. Then of course in my
so.
office I normally take leave. If I have
Yeah.
church
Once.
program like Easter or
Mm,
April, I'll take Easter leave
yeah.
just to do one or two things. So
Oh,
going off
nice.
to church refreshes me when I come back too. So the other things that goes along with it. There's family.
Mm.
Because in Nigeria, we have bills to pay. So you have
Yeah. There's so
to
many
you have
lists.
yes now I have two
Oh,
daughters in university.
oh,
So
Jesus.
it's not by my peace. And they attend private university. My
Yeah. It's a
bill is
big
bill.
university.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, well. Okay. Before you go, do you have any advice for? Yeah. Do you have any advice for maybe the young ones coming up? Those guys that are at the same level with you. And what's your? Do you have any general comments to make?
Let me start for saying I'm not in any level. I'm hustling like every other person. That said,
uh,
that said, for the upcoming ones, Like I used to tell my daughter, I also tell them, focus on the knowledge first. Be strong in the fundamentals.
Yes.
Do you understand? You see somebody that don't know anything about, he doesn't know anything about HTML. He doesn't know anything about CSS. He doesn't know anything about JavaScript. He's looking for XXX. How is he going to find it? It's not going to work. But if he focus and understand HTML, understand CSS to a level, and get grip on JavaScript, he will start getting XXS.
That's correct.
You get my point? So
Yeah,
I
that's
encourage
correct.
people to focus on the fundamentals. Focus on
Yeah.
it. So once you succeed in doing that, you'll have a grip of understanding in that fundamentals. Things will just open naturally. Your development become rapid and fast. Yeah, so that's when I encourage the young ones coming. I know there is a temptation to find money. There is a temptation to want to make money immediately. I know. But if you have not known the fundamentals, start from there. There is a book, this Aka handbook.
Yeah.
It's a big 900 and something pages read PDF. Look for it, focus on it, study it, understand it, keep it aside. Anytime you need it, go back to it. Have that fundamental before you go into looking for bugs. Then, if you start looking for bugs, when you learn something new, I also advise people to try with VDP, because in VDPs you can easily find it there.
Yeah.
Of course, no pay, but you can find it there. So I encourage people to start there. Pick one or two VDP. Like me, I started with MTN. That is why I've been with them for a long time. When I started with MTN, then I did a recon like 2-3 times that I have over 24 million subdomain of MTN. 24 million. So it's difficult for me to leave them and start that process again. But anytime I learn a new thing, I use MTN to test. Before I would finish with them, I will understand that new thing I've learned. I will find more than 10, 20. So that is what I advise people. Get a VDP that you are comfortable with. Use them to practice. You learn a new thing, you go to them, you practice. You will see there. You see the vulnerability there. When you are used to it, you have perfected it, you cannot come to bug bounty. Then I normally also tell you to take one at a time. Take one, like when I was learning iDoc, or let me use this API that I'm gradually perfecting now, because my API is gradually paying off. When I was learning API, I took months. I was watching videos on API, doing study on them, reading on them. Then I continued to find them. Even though I was not seeing them, I continued to find. Till I got used to it, the process. I even did a write-up last year on my methodology. I intentionally came to public and share it out. Then I asked for feedback. People started criticizing that this thing is just story now. Tell us the main thing. How did you do this? And I started adding those up. So I now use it to streamline it. Those feedback from people to streamline and get exactly what worked for me.
Yeah.
So and I use it. This is like almost this year now. It's like 2 years that I'm trying to perfect API. So when I start getting them, it will not be news to me. It will be something I've seen before. Now, like today, I was doing a small work on registration, just registration. Then, like I explained, I normally start. But when I finished the registration process check, I wanted to close Bootsuite. Something said I should just check it again. Then I checked the history on Bootsuite. I found out that there was a particular API URL that is divulging information. On the front end, it's okay, but on the back end, is releasing information to people. I reported it. Just straightforward, without doing anything, just using book to test my normal registration. Then I know what to not check on the history, my boot history. Because I've been working for like 3 hours. I want to close it now. I know what and what to find, check in my history if anything is there. And luckily on APIs, I saw that one. It was there. Because I already know, I already have a methodology that say after you have finished all this work, check Bootsuite and see whether there's any API that leaks something there. And then I run through them /v1/v2/API, just check 1 or 2 things. And that brought it up. So that is how it is. So I encourage people that are just starting, learn something. If you learn, for example, XXX, focus on it, try it on different VDP until you start finding and submitting. You have perfected it, then you cannot leave that one and go and learn another one. As simple as cross-site request forgery. If I tell you how long that thing took me to have a grip of and start finding it and submit it. It's supposed to be a simple thing, but I just couldn't get it at the beginning. Cross-site request forgery. I just couldn't get it. And even if I finally get one, it will be due. I don't know whether that thing has happened to you people.
Yes.
I became cross-site request forgery dupe master. If I check my dupe, I'm sure I have more than 100 of it dupe. But I didn't give up. I keep on doing it until I later get it. I can from sleep now do cross-site request forgery. When I get my testimony, where it is, I can do it. And I can even look at some. I will say this will be duplicate. I will look at some. I will know that this one, there's a chances of it not being duplicate. I know those that will be duplicate. Anybody can easily find. Now, because I understand it perfectly. I know those that anybody can find. I know those that, no. It takes you to think a step ahead to find this one. So those are the type you can ask it and you are sure you'll get something. So that is how it is. So I encourage people to learn the fundamentals, learn one book, perfect it. Before you go to the next one. You can just be in. I know that people don't accept open redirect. Perfect your open redirect before you go to XSS. If you succeed in doing that, you will be shocked what it will help you to do later. But if you don't know open redirect, there are many authentication bugs that will pass you by. You won't know that they are there. They have already gone.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
Yes. So learn open redirect, learn all those basic one, perfect it. Use VDP, use anything. Your time will come. The money is there. If nobody can finish the money that Bug bought the promise. Nobody. I have weighed that thing out. Nobody can finish it. Look at Salesforce, for example, the type of money Salesforce is paying out. Still, people are entering daily. So that is that. Nobody can. Look at what Zoom did this year. Look at the type of money Zoom pay out this year. And nobody can finish it now. Nobody can finish it. So be patient, learn it. Once you learn it, you collect your share. All of us will get our share. That is my belief.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Word for anybody learning bug bounty.
So, do you have any recommendation for books, YouTube channel, Twitter handle? Do you have any recommendation or that you want to people you follow or books?
For books, there are these books that help me. The first one I mentioned it, Aka Handbook. That book covered the fundamentals very well. Then there's this book I read, Bomb Bounty Hunter Playbook. Playbook. Version 1 and 2. That book covered the depth of hacking, the breadth of hacking. It took time to explain it. So those two books helped me. That book helped me. So I read it from time to time. Then that said, I don't have any video channel. I don't have anything. I will go it. If I want to learn on API, I will go like API. What I used was Inside PhD videos. She has a lot of videos on API. So I downloaded them. Then I now start checking other things up. API authentication, I will go and Google for it. So when I see the videos, I will go through them. I have a lot of videos on API from different people. Different people that teach different parts. Same way I do for every vulnerability I'm learning. If I'm doing a study on Open Redirect, for example, I will download Open Redirect videos from YouTube and start practicing. The only basic recommendation I will give for everybody is Postwiger. I used to encourage people to do Postwiger. If you are not cheating, when I mean cheating, you don't go and check results,
the answer,
community and come back. No. If you are not doing that, you discipline yourself, face Postwiger, and get results.
At least you need a tip now to understand.
It will work for you in real life.
Yeah,
if you're not cheating and you can get results there, it will work for you in real life. Or even if you need to check it, that's all. That's what I
Okay.
encourage people.
All right. You mentioned books. You mentioned YouTube channel Insider PhD, and okay, you mentioned Twitter handle you follow.
Okay, for
Okay.
Twitter handle, I follow a lot of people, but
Yeah,
later I
there are
reduce
lots.
it to those that when they tweet, I want to study it. Do you get it? So those are people
Yeah,
I follow now. Yeah, and I follow people that I need to study their tweet. Those are people I follow
yeah,
now.
yeah, that's true.
There are some
And
that when they tweet, I get confused. I get confused anytime they tweet. And I stop following them. But there are some strong anchors like that too. Okay,
oh,
they'll be
that's so
laughing at
funny.
me. There are
That's so
some
funny.
strong anchor that when they tweet, I get confused. So I stop following them because
Oh my goodness, that's so
as
funny.
a duty to study it. Whereas there are
Hmm.
some that I must study anything they say. I must study what they say. I must give it
Yeah,
time.
that's
Yeah, there are some people like that. So I follow them. I try to like this. What is the name of this guy? Akolic. I don't know how to call it.
okay.
Akluk. Akluk.
Oh,
Right?
Hack Luke. Yeah, Luke.
Akluk.
Yeah,
You don't want to miss what that guy is saying. You want to
yeah.
study it.
Look,
You want to understand it. And his
look
own
in
is so
him.
simple for you to understand.
Yeah,
Have you
Hack.
ever taken time to study anything that Orange said? Orange,
No, no, no,
have
no,
you looked at this video? You'll be
no,
confused
no.
more. It's even cheaper for you
Uh,
not to know, not to listen when he's talking.
oh
So
my
you don't want to follow
goodness.
those people. I have to unfollow them. I was following them before. I just do not
That's
do that.
that's
I follow
that's the
like hundred
yeah.
of them now. But when they tweet,
Okay,
I take time to look at it again.
okay,
I
okay.
don't want to be confused where I
Uh,
am now.
yeah, that's true. Anyway, the take home is follow one, take one step at a time. Don't do too
Yeah,
much at the
that's
same
don't
time,
do too much.
because if you want to go to the advanced level when you've not done the basic beginner level, it will be very difficult.
Yeah,
You just
very, very.
it's a ladder, beginner, intermediate. When you get to advanced and when
Yeah.
you get to like the upper level. Anyway, it has been a fun time chatting with you. Thank you very much for sharing your insight and experience with us. We're sure the listeners have gained valuable knowledge about the world of bug bounty and also your journey. So